on Facebook Live. Hi, Facebook Live. This is so cool.
Okay, cool.
All right. Leslie, take it away.
So welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. Today is February 17th, 2021. I'm super excited and happy and grateful for today. It's my little sister's birthday, so shout out to Chloe. And I am so excited that I get to interview my dear friend Susie. And I met Susie, gosh, I think it was must have been over 10 years ago through Zumba class. And yeah, Susie is an amazing fur mom. She has a business that we're going to talk more about. And she just has a fun, loving spirit. And she is one of my partners in believing. So I love that she's all about the good vibes and positivity and all that good stuff. I know she's gone to a few Tony Robbins events, and she can get really fired up about stuff. And I love her so much, and I'm super excited. Susie, tell us, is there anything else that I should say in the intro, or?
No, I think you're doing wonderful, Leslie. Okay. You're doing great so far. So thank you. Awesome. I'm just grateful to be here. Thank you.
So first and foremost, I guess, what inspires you and what are you most passionate about?
Great question. So when we talk about inspiration, there's lots of things that inspire me. And definitely it's people that want to do good in this world, because it inspires me to do better, right? So I try to learn different things and to better myself. And like, I think it was Crystal that talked about accountability and holding myself accountable for different things. And, so, I mean, just a lot of things that inspire me. Like I said, it's just people who do good in the world and who want to make this world a better place. And I kind of want to be that one person who makes a difference, whether it's small. It doesn't have to be super big, but it could be small. And if I can inspire others to do the same, that would be awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much that in a nutshell.
I love that. Yeah, I agree. When you're surrounded by positive people, all doing stuff that lights them up, that gets them excited, it's hard to not be a part of that. So I love that.
Right.
How and why did you get started in dog walking and training, and how did you just decide one day you were going to go for it?
Yeah, so I think it was about probably 10 years ago. I used to work in finance, and finance kind of went south back in 2008 or something. I think it was around 2008. And I believe it was that time that I needed to do something different. And it just so happened my partner at the time got me a dog, and she had a dog. His name was Scooter, a little 5-pound Chihuahua, ball of fire, super awesome. And she got me a dog, and this is Wendell, and he's been with me for 14 years. And when I was out of a job, I started working at a daycare, and it was cool in the beginning, right? I thought it was great. It was fun. And then I realized that, sometimes people start a business for good reasons. Their intentions are good, but then you see things and you're just like, I'm not quite sure I agree with some of your business practices. And there's got to just be a better way to treat the animals. So funny thing is I was walking down the street one day, and I was walking this dog, and this dog was on a pinch collar. And I decided that I wanted to, I didn't like pinch collars back in the day. I didn't even like them then. So I would turn this pinch collar inside out because I felt like it was painful for the dog. So I was walking one day and I had this dog on pinch collar, and this woman drives up in her van, in her white car, and on the side of it, it said duty calls. And I'm like, oh, what's that all about? And she just said, hey, do you know that you can make money walking dogs? I'm like, really? Because this is a good way out for me, because I wanted to get out of that doggy daycare. And sure enough, I started walking dogs. And she was really cool. You know, I started walking dogs. She put me through like this certification class. And then I realized I can actually do it myself on my own. Not that I was trying to like squeeze her out of her business or anything like that. I would never do that because it's called integrity. I was just wanting to do something on my own. And I felt like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. I was learning things. I was learning about dogs at the same time. And so I started dog walking. And then what took me further into dog training is that I was seeing different types of dog training, and I wasn't really too jazzed about like forced or, you know, using negative reinforcement on dogs. And negative reinforcement could be like hitting the dog or just kind of using the leash for leash corrections. And I said, there's just got to be a different way. And sure enough, again, I was putting it out there in the universe. I'm like, there's got to be something. And sure enough, this woman one of my clients needed help with her dog. And she had several different dog trainers, and a couple of them were just like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to hang your dog every time he barks at another dog. That's not cool. Then finally I was reaching out to the person that hired me as a dog walker. I said, we got to find someone else. And so she hired someone from the SPCA, and I really liked her method of training at that time. And it was just using food. And I'm like, oh, what's this all about? This is kind of cool. We're not hurting the dog. We're just using, food. I'm like, that's a way to my heart, food. So I'm sure it's a way to a dog's heart, right? So then basically as time goes by, of course, I guess, so when I go to Tony Robbins, there's a thing called proximity is power. And so because I was in that environment already, and when I look back and I'm like, oh, wow, I was already trying to generate that proximity of people so that I can connect with people to be able to like learn more about dog training. And so sure enough, that's what happened. People started gravitating. I started gravitating to these people who were using that same type of training, which is positive reinforcement. And then one of my greatest mentors, and she actually said, hey, she saw me dog walking one day. She's like, hey, why don't you just volunteer at the SPCA? And I said, sure, why not? Why not, And that was my way in. I learned everything I could about dog behavior, and just being at the SPCA was positive. Like, I've never been in an environment where it was just so positive, I mean, the people even that work there, and just how people related to the dogs, that became my passion, was to learn how to communicate with animals, with dogs, and how to be a better communicator, because that's where it all started. And then when you learn about all that, you learn about behavior and training. And I was able to work with shelter dogs, and working with shelter dogs, you building this compassion because you felt they were all abandoned. And I'm like, I kind of know what that feeling is like, being abandoned. So that made me even want to like help these dogs even more. So that's where it all started. I was mentored by this really cool and awesome trainer under the guidance of like the Gene Donaldson Academy of dog trainers. So I interned there for a while, and then I started teaching. Like, I didn't know, like I just kept on going, just kept showing up, just gonna just soak it all in. I didn't have anything else better to do, so I'm just gonna do this. So I just continued, and I continued to like volunteer for like, I don't know, 5 years. I was just in there. I was doing my dog walking, and then I would go straight to the SPCA, and I would start like helping out with classes. And then soon enough, I started teaching. So then again, that became another one of my passions, is just teaching and helping other people and connecting with other trainers who were using the same methods, who were we're all in that, we all had that same state, on that state of mind of wanting to help these animals and helping people understand their dogs. So yeah, that's how it all began.
Oh, I
God,
love
that was
that.
kind of long and winded, wasn't it?
No, it's perfect. I love that. I love learning
Yeah.
about that. And it's so true, positive reinforcement is such a better way instead of negative reinforcement for animals, humans, kids.
Yeah.
And I love that. So that is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, just being there, even at the SPCA, there was a lot of positive reinforcement for me. Just, it was just rewarding in itself. So that was really nice because, yeah, it was a good space to be in, for
Nice.
sure.
So the next question I have is, what do you love the most about what you do?
Working with the furry dogs, working with helping these, like, I don't know. So the other day I was walking with a friend of mine. It was several months, or maybe about a month ago, and we were walking dogs, and for me, what I love the most is being out there and with nature, right? But then also giving these rescue animals that I've been in, kind of like been working with. Most of the clients that I have rescue dogs, and just giving them that enrichment of life, a different type of life, from being from a shelter and then getting out and then experiencing a different type of environment, which is going to the beach, and developing that developing that trust with the client, and developing that trust with the dog as well. So that way, when we're out there, that we're all safe, and keeping them safe, because that's another thing I love about being out there, is the environment changes every day. You never know what you're going to run into. Like one day you're going to come in, you'll walk and there's like horses, or you'll be walking and there's like weird people on the beach. So, there's just different things that you're always like on your toes. So it does keep me on my toes. I'm always really trying to be hyper focused on my dogs when I'm out there. Um, and just being with them is that's just rewarding in itself. It's healing. It has been a healing thing for me. So yeah.
That is awesome.
Thanks.
Let's see, what other questions do I have for you? Um, so you might have seen Crystal's dog Zen. He might have popped up into the picture.
I
And
saw.
yeah, are there any tips you have to share for walking an overexcited large puppy?
How old is your dog, Crystal?
2.5 years old.
He's still a puppy.
And
Is he a lab?
no, we believe Rottweiler. And he was a rescue,
Oh.
so we don't really know. And
Okay.
he's about 120 to 140 pounds. So he's bigger than me.
Yeah, and one time we were out and he got excited with a dog and we were hiking and he dragged Crystal down the hill and I was in such shock that I didn't even know what to do, and I felt horrible because she's like sliding past me and I'm like
and it's not to harm anybody. He just wants to go see and love on everybody, but 120-pound moose running at you to go, hi, 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 hi.
Yeah, that's
a little much.
So I mean, what you want to do is basically you want to create focus, and how you do that is, of course, it's just creating. You set boundaries with your dog, obviously, right? So he doesn't get to go say hi, especially if he's in that state, right? So you want to just make sure that hey, let's do this instead. Can you sit? Yay, good. And then reward. So you always want to reinforce the behaviors that you do like, because when you do that, you're going to actually get more of those behaviors, the good ones. So next time you see someone and he starts pulling at the end of the leash, you have to hold your ground. Hold your ground, reestablish focus, like, hey buddy, I'm here, it's about me, it's not about everything in your environment. And you can do like kissy noises, call him back. It's like you're going to be constantly doing like mini recalls. We call them mini recalls, just because you want him to get hyper focused on you, not the environment that's out there. I'm sure he's probably just like, oh my god, this is so exciting. And yeah, and a lot of people tend to like, so when a dog is pulling, they tend to run behind their dog. What you want to do is you're going to have to put the brakes on. You're going to really have to put those brakes on, because the moment, we call it the stop and go method. He gets to go if the leash is relaxed, right? We don't ever want to put any tension on the leash, because tension creates tension. I mean, through that, because all that energy is transferred through the leash. The leash is we call it just a safety device. But you always use your voice, always have some treats with you. So if he does that thing right, if he looks back at you, you go, yes, feedback towards you. I wish I could show you an example on how to do that, but you always want to feed for position. And what I mean by that is you want to feed close to you. You never want to feed a dog way out here, because he's going to stay out there. Always feed close to your body. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It was actually funny. I just finally felt comfortable. And note to self, when you have a big dog and you're dealing with that, make sure if you're hiking, cleats. You need cleats. Because I had actually got him to sit. We were in sit position.
Good.
For the first dog, but the second dog that came, the owner realized that I was training a puppy.
Yeah.
He must have known, and my dog realized that we were talking. So he's like,
Yeah.
Mom, I'm gonna go see him. And I'm in my ground. I'm standing 1 minute, and then the next thing I know, I'm literally dragged, and I end up underneath the owner going, hi, I apologize for the bad manners. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh my God, Crystal, what kind of harness do you have on him? What are you using as a harness?
I've got the full harness. We've tried the muzzle one does pretty good. The one that has got the
Halty? Yeah.
Yeah. And then he does best at the double side harness. So top and front.
Oh, that sounds like a Wonder Walker or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he does seem to do that better.
Yeah.
Because then he's constantly right next to me, and we're just moving that back and forth.
And then you always want to make sure that you reward him for staying next to you. Remember what I said is, if you reward your dog for for doing the good stuff, then they're going to keep doing it. They're going to continue to stay there. It takes a lot of practice, trust me. And the moment they start pulling forward is the moment that you want to, oh my God, it's 10. The moment that you want to the moment that they pull forward is the moment that you just stop and wait for them to kind of look back at you and go, hey, what's going on? You go, hey, well, you need to come back this way. Hi.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hi, Tin.
Yay, Christina is here with us from the Philippines. Glad you could be here.
Can you hear us? Is she stuck? Hello?
I can hear you. I'm not sure. She might have been frozen, huh? Awesome. That's some really good information and tips for Mr. Zen. Now I also wanted to open up and see if there were any questions from the group. You can go ahead and unmute yourself or type it in the chat.
I actually have another one. Have
Yeah.
you dealt with a dog that has light sensitivity? It's, a rescue dog
Oh.
that is like obsessed with any kind of light. Um,
Oh.
they've been working with a behaviorist, but like literally any kind of light, they're like, um,
So I'm wondering, was it a rescue dog?
yeah,
So
almost
then,
all of ours are rescues.
oh, awesome. So with that, so you've been working with the behaviorists. What did the behaviorists say? What did they say? Because
Well,
I have some dog. I've had a dog, or I've had an experience with a dog that would see those like lights. I know what you're talking about. Like they'd see something shining and they go chase it, right?
yep.
So I'm wondering if that was a dog that the handler would only play laser lights with. You know what I mean? So that's a behavior that's just sort of like, yeah. I'm not sure how they would how I don't I mean basically I'm not sure how they would break that behavior, because it's just something that it seems like that's rewarding for them, the actual light, right? Um because obviously they're chasing it and that's part of the game and that's something that's fun for them. So yeah, that's positively reinforcing their behavior, because that's what they're just totally down for that. Um, but I can't say I've worked with any dogs that have had that behavior. What do the behaviors say? How do they break it? I'm curious.
Um, she's been working with her off and on. I think she comes in like once a week, because it's my parents' dog. And
Aww.
and once a week the behaviorist works on her and sees if they can like kind of desensitize it with
Yeah.
treats and good behavior. And we noticed that, she's got such a personality that the dog's like, no, I'm done with you. I've had enough. I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
feel
why
like
I asked,
yeah,
you know,
I feel like it would be one of those things where they see a light and you would have to, like, before they chase it, you would have to kind of mark it. They look at it, yes, they look back and then feed. And so instead of them actually chasing it, you kind of interject by saying, yeah, look at that, you can look at that light, but you don't have to chase it. You can just mark that behavior before they chase it. There's something called look and dismiss. Maybe you could talk to your behaviorist about that. I wonder if it could be used in that sort of scenario as well.
great idea.
Yeah,
I'll let them know.
because we use that for dogs who bark at other dogs. So basically, you want, like you said, desensitizing them to that action, to the light. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Thank you.
yeah.
I'm like, and I'm looking in the groups. Um, I know I had lots of questions. And because you answered even the barking one, he is
Oh,
doing so much better. I say thank you to tell him to thank you for doing your job now. Okay, we're done with that. Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Yeah, good.
Anybody else?
Anyone else have questions? Anyone? Bueller?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, that's okay. Shannon looks kind of busy. Or is she frozen?
I know she looks frozen to me on my end.
Yeah, it looks like it's just static.
Yeah. I have a question. So are you going to be doing I guess what is next for you? And I know you've been doing like training videos and stuff on Instagram. Are you going to come out with an online course soon, or
That's a good question.
what do you have coming up?
Yeah, that was something that I was discussing with a friend of mine. I would like to do a nice online course for dogs who bark at other dogs on leash and all that stuff. That was one of the classes that I really loved teaching at the SPCA. it's just a matter of finding the right people and finding a good, like, I'm looking around for good, what do you call that? I guess a way of how to organize it. So I guess I won't be able to start it. I won't do anything until I start it, right? Nothing's gonna happen until it starts. But yeah, I'm hoping to do some more online videos. That would be nice too, just to kind of contribute to the community. And I'm looking into maybe looking into maybe doing some classes, but I think I want to prefer to do them online. That was like my next goal. And it's funny you asked that. Yeah.
Cool. And share how people can get in touch with you.
Me?
Yes, you.
You can contact me through my website, www.teenydogs.com. Or you can email me at teenydogsf@yahoo.com. That's 2 S's. Did you get that? Yeah.
I can put it in
Or
the
you can
chat.
call me at 415-806-2999.
Cute. And I'll put a plug in. Leslie helped me because we have a CRM and a platform. So Leslie helped me with the course. So you might want to check with her. She's pretty good at it. She made it kind of easy
Leslie,
peasy for
you
me.
didn't tell me that.
So, but you know, we're all not so good at bragging about
Don't
ourselves.
say
But
that.
I'll brag about her because she helped me.
Oh my God, really? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
we'll talk more about it. I would love to figure something out that feels good, because I mean, I feel like I've been saying you should do an online course. You should do an online course because
No.
the way that your strategy is, it's a very heart-centered, which I love, and more people need it. And you know, thanks to the internet, more eyeballs can take a look at what you're doing. So I would love to help you with that, and we'll definitely talk more.
Okay.
Yeah, but this was an awesome interview. Thank you so much, Susie.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you everyone for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Hey.
Do you have any questions, my dear, over there? How is
What are you
Zoom doing? Do you have any training questions you need to ask for Zoom? Help with Zoom?
So crazy.
You are so funny right now.
You're so crazy. Thank you. I don't have questions. That's okay.
Yes, thank you very much. We will see you guys next week for Wellness Wednesday. Rise and shine. We are kicking off some masterminding and stuff tomorrow night at 6:30. Because Monday we're kicking off a 90-day side gig to main gig. Because our business mentor does it. And also, if you know, we're going to be doing Leslie's virtual Zumba and feel good party on Saturday.
Right?
Am I missing anything before we jump off of Facebook, Leslie?
How many people are on that Facebook Live?
I don't think so.
You'll have to see.
I don't think I have anything else. This was awesome.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Yes, bye.
All right.
Oh, we usually end with some wins.
What are wins?
Are you saying bye?
Yep. Oh, I was just jumping us off of Facebook. Do you want to record the wins?
Oh, it's up to you. It's your call.
I guess we could. We haven't recorded wins in a while. So why not?
What are wins?
Any wins that you have from this week or today or anything can be big or small.
This is actually a win.
Heck yes.
This whole thing is a win, and learning about you having some sort of platform that I can actually build my online course. So that's a big win.
Yeah.
Crystal, thank you.
We all got to support each other. Leslie does it to me sometimes. We forget
I
that
know, man.
not
So
everybody knows our talents.
yeah, well, Crystal, if you have anything you want to share, just let me know. I would be happy to like share whatever. Yeah.
Awesome.
I know you're still doing, are you guys still doing the the essential oils?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're still a big part of our lifestyle, and
Yeah.
we've got courses and information available. It's just not in the forefront anymore. It's really building community, helping community, and seeing how we can help them.
Fantastic. Okay,
And
good.
doing it that way. I love it way better. And they all work together, but it's not that there's just different energy when you've got more things to focus on and ways to help each other. So
Yeah.
that's why we were talking about and wanted to interview you, because it is helping people is an awesome thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. That's just something that, I want to continue to do. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Leslie, do you want to do your win?
Yeah, my win is the natural high that I get bringing my tribe together and seeing light bulbs go off and seeing how we can help each other. I mean, that just makes me so happy. And it energizes me, it gets me fired up. And I knew ever since I was little that I wanted to help people, and I thought that I was going to have to be a teacher, and I was really hard on myself when I decided that wasn't the route that I was going to go. And now I can be a teacher and support and do like virtual assistant kind of stuff, and realize that I really like doing that. And I really love helping, my peeps. So I'm just excited. And thank you so much, Susie, for letting me interview you. It was fun. And I love getting to know, I love these because I get to know more about my friends and learn more backstory, which just adds more context. And yeah, it's just cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And yeah, this is a complete win. I listening to you, Susie, made me feel a lot more confident, and I realized that I know that it's partly my fear because he was able to overpower me, and that hadn't happened before. So I know that that's my fear I got to walk through in order to give him the better life that he deserves. So I've been like doing baby steps, and I think it's time to do a little bit more. People need to get to know him.
There's a couple of things that there's one thing that I'd like to share is a book that really helped, and it's called this. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Oh,
so
no.
It's called Don't Shoot the Dog. And it's by Karen Pryor. And she's one of the books that, one of my go-to trainers that I go to. It's funny because remember, Crystal, how you said like how you can just attract stuff from the universe? Well, back in the day, I was reading books on dolphins. Like I was super into dolphins. I love dolphins. I wanted to be a dolphin trainer. And then fast forward, Karen Pryor was one of the dolphin books that I was reading back in the day. I didn't even realize that she was a dolphin trainer herself in the beginning. She started off as that, and then she started doing dogs. That's a good book to read. But then also this other one is a really good one. Bones Would Fall from the Sky. You would probably cry, but it's another one. She's also a dog trainer. Her name is Susan Clavier. But yeah, that's the title of that book. Bones Would Fall from the Sky. Just read a little bit at a time, but there's some really good information and especially don't shoot the dog. Yeah.
That's awesome. And funny story to your backstory real quick.
Yeah.
I, at one point in time, wanted to be a dolphin trainer. I couldn't figure out if I wanted to work at Marine World, whatever it's
Yeah.
called now, Discovery Kingdom, or San Diego or Florida. And I
Yeah.
talked to the people that worked there. And when I wanted to do it, and I heard that I had to be in the concession stands for so long, I was like, okay, maybe my patience doesn't last that long. I need to find something else.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Because when I found out, like, later on, like, I'm like, okay, dolphin trainer. It was more of like dolphin research is what I wanted to go into. But marine biology was like, oh my God, this is way too much school for me. So, and at that time, I couldn't focus, obviously. But yeah, so I mean, fast forward again, it's like, okay, dogs, I can do that. That's cool. But you can apply the same behavior things to any animal, to anything. I mean, right now I've got a couple of birds in my backyard that I'm trying to train. So yeah, so it can be applied to anything.
Yeah, exactly true. And I realized with him, he is definitely, I learned it way back when riding horses, animals
Oh,
mirror us. And if you've got fear when you're on a horse, you're pretty much going to be thrown
I
because
don't know.
they're going to mirror that.
Yeah. Michelle is she was an avid writer. I don't know. I know she was super into horses. So if you want to chime in, yeah, please do. Cause hey,
Right.
she trains horses.
Oh, that's
Well, I moved
awesome.
here with horses, didn't get the opportunity to train, and then I've had other horses where I've hired a trainer. But riding horses, I rode my whole youth. I rode horses.
Yep.
So
I
we're all
love it.
that's awesome.
And I always pick I don't know about you, Michelle, but I always pick the spunky ones because I always used to want to see how much calm I could bring to see if I could calm them and able to ride them.
And
Actually, most of the time I could ride them. I even had one that reared up and threw a friend and almost sat on her.
oh my God.
And she had been, this poor horse had been in a barn and in a stall for so long, they were sour. She forgot how to ride a human on her. And here we are, country city, and I'm trying to bring this horse that's scared to death. We did it, but it was a feat. A lot of backwards. So they
Wow.
weren't watching what was going on, but it took some time and it was fun, trying to calm ourselves. To calm an animal is a feat.
Yeah.
But it works.
That's cool, Crystal. Thank you for sharing that.
I think that's great. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. Thanks
Thank you, guys.
Michelle, for
I have a
chiming in.
last question for Susie. Can you
Okay.
train my wild animal over here?
You should read this book. I'm telling you, don't shoot the dog. The art of teaching and training. Actually, and it's funny because when I went to the Tony Robbins thing, he actually mentioned this book. And I'm like, oh shit, he actually probably uses some of those techniques. So yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I know. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun.
That for that. It has been a lot of fun. I'm going to stop the recording for now. That was fun. We were not on live for that one. This one's just for our groups.
Oh, cool. I
and
like
our
it.
people.
Good.